All right, baby. We're back at it. Break from the draft. And now, Mike, the schedule is out. The schedule, 2021 Cowboys schedule is out. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Shout out to everybody joining us live in effect here. We're going to break down the schedule. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Joe?
What's up, baby? What's up? Everybody out there, shout out to everybody. What's up, man? Everybody in the chat box, too. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for rolling on through. So the schedule is out. Obviously, they're going to break it down on the NFL Network, but it is out. We're going to break it down here, Mike. Let's take a look at the schedule. It's been leaked out here. Let's look at this together, and then we'll break it down. So, Mike, week 1, we start on the road. Thursday night, opening up the season against the Bucks. Week 2, we have their Chargers, so back-to-back road games, right?
Yeah.
Week 3.
We're playing our home game. We got the Eagles.
Yep. And then
we got another home game with the Panthers.
Yep.
Another home game with the Giants. Then we travel to the Patriots, Joe. Then we have our bye week. We go to Minnesota, the Vikings game. We play the Broncos at home. We go to the Chiefs game. That's the one I'm going to. Then we go back home. We play the Raiders. Then we go to New Orleans and play the Saints. Then we go to Washington and play them. Then we go to MetLife and go play the Giants. Then Washington comes sees us. Then we'll get them Cardinals at home. And then we finish the season, week 18, hopefully get moving into the playoffs versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Joe.
Yeah. So that is the schedule right there, guys. This is something to be talked about indeed. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Appreciate all you guys rolling through. NFL release party, release party. It still feels like draft mode, right, Mike? But bro, that's a great little breakdown there. Now, the rumor initially was that we were going to end the season with the Patriots. That, in fact, is not true. We're ending the season in tradition against the NFC East rival. So that makes a lot of sense. But, man, Mike, what game are you guys circling on this calendar, guys? Let us know in the chat box. What game, bro, are you guys circling in this calendar?
Hey, yeah, while they're putting the chat up theirs, I'm circling mine, Joe. It's going to be at the Kansas City Chiefs, week 11, Joe. I'm going to that game. It's 3.5 hours away from me. Why would I not go? Go see Pat Mahomes, a Texas native. Go see my Dallas Cowboy natives in full effect at Arrowhead. Will be my first away stadium, Joe. The first away game ever. I've always been home to Dallas.
What game is that, Mike? What game are you going to?
Week 11, the Chiefs game.
The Chiefs game. Wow, dude. Yeah.
I get to go see Patrick Mahomes. I get to go see my Cowboys. Patrick Mahomes, obviously a Texas native, so I got to go support my boy. But obviously root for the Cowboys. Number 1, right? But that's the game I'm circling because that's the one, Joe, I'm going to. What you got?
Man, dude. I'm pumped about this. The games that I'm circling on here for me is going to be this game here against Carolina. All right. We get a look at our one of our draft targets, right? Our boy that a lot of us had, we thought we were going to get him, J.C. Horn. So right here,
week 4.
Week 4, Carolina. Carolina, I think they're one of the teams that I thought had a good draft. So that'll be good. We'll get to match up with them. They do have Sam Darnold. They didn't really address, that offensive line early. So we'll see how that holds up there, Mike. So that's one right out the gate. And then you get to see Patrick Surtain here, right?
Yep.
And then you get the Atlanta game. You get a look at Kyle Pitts, the ones that a lot of fans were drooling over. Really? I'm circling the whole damn schedule. You know what I mean? There's almost no game that can really be out there to circle, man. This is just a great schedule. I mean, each game has a lot of intrigue, Mike. guys, let us know what game are you really looking forward to. Mike, let's talk about week 1 here. Let's talk about that week 1 game, guys. We're going to look at each game here. We'll give a little, preview as to the matchup. So without further ado, let's get into that, Mike. Week 1. Let's get into that there. Week 1 versus the Bucks, right? So we're on the road, week 1 at the Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go play. We're going to be the star of the show, opening up the NFL season with the Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Joe. If the Cowboys can have a healthy, and here we go with the ifs, right? If the Cowboys can have a healthy offseason, get Tyron Smith back, get Lyle Collins back, you know what I'm saying? You've seen that Buccaneers defense when there's no offensive line, okay? Yeah. If we can find an offensive line in that and stay healthy, we got the best trio of wide receivers in the National Football League. Let's not get that twisted, all right? We these players, the defense might be suspect. Tom Brady might be able to pick apart Dan Quinn's offense because these guys are just going to be learning this thing. It could be a high shootout, Joe. It could be Dak starting where he left off, passing for a lot of yards, getting touchdowns going early, Joe. If the Cowboys can stay healthy throughout this offseason, I see no problem beating the Buccaneers, Joe.
Yeah, that week 1 game to start off the NFL season, right? That's what I have. That is the game to start the season for the NFL, right?
Yep.
So for me, it's a litmus test right out the gate, Mike. You know, we're going to see, you know, where this defense is at, the revamped defense. You know, you let go of some people, you let that secondary walk for the most part, except Jordan Lewis. Alden Smith's gone. So now you're leaning on the defense, like you mentioned, Mike. So Kelvin Joseph, Brady, you can guarantee he's going to go after the rookie there. So it's going to be a lot of intrigue. So we got to get to Brady. You definitely got to get in his face, man. But the guy, he's hard to rattle. This guy is the GOAT for a reason. So, but the Cowboys have a lot on the line here, Mike. You got to start out the season here. And I think if you win this game in convincing fashion, you can carry that momentum, right, Mike? Now, if this defense comes out looking like crap again, that momentum is out the window. But, Mike, you know, I kind of tweeted this earlier. I think the whole key to this whole NFL season for the Cowboys is going to rely on that offensive line. You know, Tyron Smith, like you mentioned, Lyle Collins, like you mentioned, and everybody's falling in love with Lyle Collins showing his stomach and that kind of crap. We can't, as fans, we can't fall in love with the hype videos. I mean, they're fun to watch, right? And it does give you some hope. But at the end of the day, are these guys going to be good to go week 1? So that's what I'm saying. Who's going to be your week 1 offensive line? If it's Tyron, if it's Lyle, Zach Martin, all these guys are good to go. We're ready to rock and roll, baby. I feel good. Yeah. Any concerns about that week 1 game, Mike?
No, the only concern I got is where is Dan Quinn going to take this defense? You know, he had a fantastic press conference, but we've seen guys like Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch fail in a new scheme without Rod Marinelli. We got Micah Parsons in here. We got Jabril Cox in here, Joe. We got Keanu Neal playing linebacker. So if we can get these 3 guys playing and not have to worry about the liability of Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith,
people calling me,
we should be fine here, Joe. We should be fine here. But, you know, don't drink too much Kool-Aid. There's a huge possibility we could lose this game too. But things got to go straight in order. Zeke always looked good week 1. As of late, you know, he looked a little sluggish when he didn't participate in preseason games, but he did look good week 1 last year. So hopefully, guys, we can get things moving. We can start it, and beating the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be clutch. We did it. We did it against the Giants in 2011. We could do it again here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's what it is, guys. Moving on to week 2 here. As you can see, we're on the road again. So we open the season back-to-back road games. So there's that. Week 2, Mike, on the road at the Chargers. What sticks out for you that game there?
Yeah, this is one of those where we only play them once every 4 years, Joe. They smacked our butts around last time we played them. We all remember that 4 years ago. Phillip Rivers just put a whacking on us. Hopefully, we can. What do they have? A rookie quarterback over there? They got rid of Phillip Rivers. They're still trying to build some pieces. They got a stellar defense. I think it's going to be a challenge, but they have a big opportunity to go 2-0 on the road and 2-0 for the season, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? You definitely, you don't want to go in a repeat of last year. The season comes at you really fast, right? It comes at you really, really fast. So for the Cowboys on the road at the Chargers, hopefully that week 1 game, they come out of it healthy through all these games. But that Chargers game, it is going to be tough, dude. Like there's no way around that one there. Justin Herbert, I think, is a really good quarterback. I think he was probably the better one that came out of that draft class. I liked him better than Tua Tagovailoa, and I liked him better than Jalen Hurts, and I liked him better than who were the other guys that came out early? Yeah, those guys there, man. So I think it's gonna be good, but it is a new coaching staff, so those guys are gonna go through a little bit of a process as well. You know what I mean? So as good as they were last year, they do have a new coaching staff in place there with the Chargers. But I expect this to be a very competitive game. So it's gonna be the will of wills. So. On defense, the Chargers, Derwin James, but can he stay healthy? I'm not really afraid of that secondary, to be honest. That front, I think, is pretty good with Bosa. They've got some guys there, but yeah, week 2, Mike. The rookies will have a lot of the jitters out of their system there. So week 2, Parsons, Diggs. Year 2 for Trayvon Diggs, year 2 for CeeDee Lamb. We have a lot of good year 2 players that are really going to be a big part of this run or the success of this team. You know what I'm saying? So Gallimore, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Biadasz. We need Tyler Biadasz to hold the line there against that good Charger in front. So that's going to be a good test for him. So good game there, Mike. The Chargers, week 2, bro. Week 2.
Yeah. Week 3, Joe, the Philadelphia Eagles, Monday Night Football. Joe, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, week 3, Monday Night Football, primetime game, right? So first primetime, well, second already because the first one is primetime. So in the first 3 games, we got 2 primetime games, right? So Monday Night Football, Eagles, we're home versus the Eagles, bro.
Yeah, we're home. Yes, if you watch my YouTube channel, if you know me right here on the Frisco Report, I hate the Eagles. I hate their fans. I think they're scum.
Yeah, they are scum of the earth, bro. For real,
scum. Pure scum of the earth. All right, and child molesters too. At that, they claim to have a cupcake in their hand when they go do it, but scum of the earth, right? But no, the Philadelphia Eagles, dude. There should be no reason with this crappy head coach that we can't go in there. Mike McCarthy, the resume that he has, we can't go in there and we can just embarrass these fools. Let's go poop on their car windshield, all right? These nasty-ass birds, Joe.
Yeah, this is a great game. Another primetime game. How will these guys look? Dak Prescott and the crew. The new defense rolling it out against Jalen Hurts, year 2 for him. I think he's just an okay quarterback. I'm not afraid of Jalen Hurts. I really thought they were going to maybe take Justin Fields. You know what I mean? He's a better quarterback. Justin Fields is going to be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But it's going to be interesting. The way they drafted, right? They got themselves some a receiver there. They got
Devontae Smith
in the mix. Will he be a bust? Okay.
Yeah, right. He will be. That's why we traded back home and got him.
Yeah, it is right. So you're gonna learn really quick, really early. How these guys are gonna look. I love Devontae Smith in college, but the NFL is a whole other beast. It's another level. Not everybody translate as well in the NFL. So no shade on him, but
I'm
And
throwing shade.
the Eagles, they typically don't draft wide receivers well. They've been chasing wide receivers forever. So, I think it's a good matchup for us. I think we're going to punch these guys in the mouth. I think they're a mess, from Howie Roseman to the coach who has really awkward press conferences to rumblings in the locker room. I just think that to me, the Eagles are, going to be the bottom feeders of the division for me. You know what I mean? I really do. So if anybody's thinking about a trap game, Eagles could be 0-3 at that point, 0-2 or whatever. But so could we. We definitely got to stack these wins early, bro. We got to put our name to it. You know what I mean? So the Eagles, bro, the hated rival, man, the hated rival. Are the Eagles still the most hated rival in the NFC East right now, or has it shifted to Washington? Is it still the Eagles?
Still the Eagles. I can't stand them. They booed. They cheered when Michael Irvin got hurt. Donovan McNabb over there in 2009 banging on freaking glass in our house, and we kicked their butts 3 times that year. They think they're hot crap. Go get some cupcakes, boy. The party's over.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Shout out to everybody watching the schedule release party. We're happening right now. It's popping off right now in the comments. Appreciate everybody in the chat box. Anthony, what's up, brother? What up, Joe and Mike? Hope all is well. Thank you for the Diggs jersey and helmet. No, thank you, bro. Thank you for showing up there for the draft party and getting in that raffle. Glad you got it. Glad you got that, bro. That's what we're here for, having a lot of fun around here. Now, moving on to week 4, baby. Mike, week 4. Who we got on tab there for week 4?
Week 4, Joe, we got the Carolina Panthers at home.
So week 4 is versus the Panthers at home. So we are at AT&T Stadium against the Panthers. So, Mike, what's your take there on how that game might shape out? What are you highlighting in that game there?
The J.C. Horn pick, is he going to cover Amari Cooper? Is he going to cover C.D. Lamb? Is he going to cover Michael Gallup? Right? Can he be that shutdown corner that I'm thinking? They didn't draft a quarterback. They're going all in on Sam Darnold, which he kicked our butts when he played with the Jets. All right, let's not forget about that.
That's true, Sam
man. Looked like Tom Brady out there.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk bad about that because I don't want karma coming after me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We got to watch those. We got to dot our I's. We got to cross our T's. You want a trap game? This is that trap game, Joe.
Yeah, week 4 Panthers. What I like about this game here, Mike, I think this is going to be a good test. I like what Matt Rule is doing over there. I think he's building up a very solid program. So I think that I haven't looked at the Panthers schedule, obviously, but I expect them to be very competitive, even with Sam Darnold. Now, the only thing that I'm not impressed by is like we kind of touched upon it. Did they address their offensive line enough?
No.
So that'll be the deal there, and we know with Sam Darnold, if you can get in his face, you can rattle him. But you made the point there that if you don't get in his face, he can pick you apart, right? And that's what he did with us. We couldn't get to him. They gave him time. He was able to get the ball. We made him look like Tom Brady. This is a new version of the defense. Hopefully, God willing, we'll have Michael Parsons, LVE. Hopefully, he'll be healthy, good to go there in the middle there. And our offense, I expect it to be clicking on all cylinders. You know what I mean? Year 2 with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup, Schultz, Jarwin, if that needs is good, and all reports indicate that he's on schedule, so that's good news there, Mike.
Yeah, week 1 in the year he tore that thing, so he should be ready to rock.
Yeah, so that's good news there. Good reports on Jarwin's recovery, so that's good news. Defensively speaking, that's going to be J.C. Horn, so we'll see how he holds up. Will that grabbiness show up? Will that go after the rookie there? You know what I mean? So who is he going to go up against? Is he gonna follow the number 1 receiver, or is he going to just stay on Gallup, or is he going to be on Amari? So I think that's going to be a fun game there. I do like their defense. I think that's going to be it's going to be a good game. We're at home though, so hopefully we'll get some momentum there, Mike. Week 4. What does everybody in the chat box think about the matchup at home against the Panthers? Let us know what you guys think there. Boys for Life did a league video. The hardest part of the schedule is in the end. Yeah, I think the schedule is definitely not easy by any means. You know, it always ends on that kind of note there. Appreciate that super chat, brother. Appreciate you there. But yeah, the beginning of the schedule is not easy either. I mean, look at the teams we've already talked about: Bucks, Super Bowl champs, an improved Chargers, the Eagles. You know, that should be a game that we should win that game. I want to beat the crap. I want to sweep the Eagles and everybody. Donnell, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for swinging by, bro. Appreciate you as always. As always, let's get that dub there. Let's get that dub. Yeah, bro. Tommy King's going to that game. Hell yeah, bro. Catch that game. I'm going to try to catch a game too, man. So I'll let you guys know. Might do some sort of meetup there, Mike. Who do we have in week 5, Mike?
We got the Giants at home, Joe, the New York State Giants. Now, the highlight of this one, ironically, is going to be our corners. Okay. Trayvon Diggs, Kelvin Joseph. If Nashawn Wright's going to be playing, where's he going to be playing at? So many. And the reason why I say that, yes, they got Daniel Jones. Okay, but it's going to be for our corners and our defensive line. Can we stop Saquon Barkley? We know Jason Garrett likes to run the ball. We know Jason Garrett. We know what Jason Garrett likes to run, Joe. He coached us for 10 years. All right, our defensive line and our corners are going to be a big staple point in stopping these Giants. I think if you hit Daniel Jones in the mouth early, I mean, who's Daniel Jones? Let's be honest here, guys.
Yeah. Daniel Jones is trash, bro.
Trash of trash. All right,
he really is, man.
But we got to watch Shifty Saquon Barkley. So our corners, they got to get these wide receivers covered, and our defensive line, they got to get to Saquon.
Yeah. No, that's what it is, man. It's gonna be it's definitely gonna be the run defense, right? We got tore up in that regard there. So that's gonna be one of the premier backs. We'll see how Saquon Barkley looks, recovered from that torn up knee or whatever. Is he kind of battling an injury prone bug? He hasn't been the most healthy. He's missed, a handful of games. Obviously, the last year was the major one. But that's a good one, Mike. The defense will be tested early. They've added some pieces on that offensive line. They're trying to give some weapons there for Daniel Jones. I think that there's a lot on the line here for the Giants. You know what I mean? I think they have improved, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's all going to come down to that quarterback, Daniel Jones. That's a big part of it. If your quarterback can't get it done, if your quarterback can't even be a game manager, then you're doomed. You know what I'm saying? So I think we get in his face. You can rattle him too. I think he's one of those quarterbacks you can rattle, hit him around a little bit, put the pressure on him. Dan Quinn, hopefully he'll get, some of these blitz packages going, get in his face. And our offense can get humming, man. Our offense can get humming on these guys.
Yeah.
And these types of things. Guys, let us know what you guys think about the Giants game. What do you think about that there? Mario Flores is saying Parsons versus Barkley. Giants D-line versus the boys O-line. That is a very good point there, Mario, because the Giants D-line is pretty good. Now they did lose their behemoth defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson. But, for the most part, they've added some good pieces in play there. So that's probably the strength of the team, man. You think for me, I think the strength of that Giants is probably that front, But
yeah, Skeptical fan, thank you for the $2 right there. Win or lose, Cowboys all day. He says.
Skeptical fan, appreciate you, bro. Win or lose, Cowboys all day. Yes, indeed. I love his avatar. Got Micah Parsons there on his avatar. Badass, brother. Badass. Earl G. Dom 74. Yes, sir. Doing great schedule strength. Yeah, it is. It's really good. It's going to be a litmus test right out the gate, Mike. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to, is McCarthy the guy? Is Quinn the guy? Did we make the right moves in the draft?
One thing I'm concerned about, it's not Mike McCarthy, Joe. It's not Dan Quinn. It's Kellen Moore. And let's talk about Kellen Moore because, ironically, week 6, we're going back to the New England Patriots when Kellen Moore called a horrible game plan, Joe. Remember that game? Horrible game plan. All right?
Yeah, it was. It was terrible, bro. That was not good.
And that's what I'm concerned about, Joe. We could have people can, and I'm not going to advertise 40 burger. All right, I seen that. It was a complete disaster. Dak Prescott got hurt. We barely scored enough to feed the homeless in Dallas, Texas. All right, so we didn't have a lot of burgers made. But what we need to do, Joe, is have Kellen Moore redeem himself against these Patriots. All right.
Yeah. Now the Patriots, they've got some things there, with the quarterback issue. Did Belichick do enough, guys? He's got Cam Newton. They got Mac Jones sitting and waiting. We'll see how he looks in camp. Do they pull Cam Newton at some point and insert Mac Jones? You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see where the Patriots are at. You know what I mean? They still have Gilmore. They were very aggressive in free agency. So I think, the bread and butter of the Patriots with Belichick has always been free agency. It seems like he leans more on that than the draft. They have a lot of misfires in the draft, so
a lot of Brown players.
You think about the Patriots and, they were aggressive. Now, will those pieces fit for them? So for us on the road at Gillette Stadium or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, let's get that win, man. Let's get that win. But man, it's going to come down to to our health of the line. It really is. So, man, I feel if our offensive line can hold up, man, I think we'll be good. But it is going to be a tough game. Patriots, they do play really good at home, Mike. So,
yeah, let's go kick their butt. Quit playing around.
Yeah, but I'm with you, man. Like the whole 40 burger crap, it's like we got to get away from that. Let's just get down to balanced football, right? McCarthy mentioned that in the press conference. He acknowledged that there was a big difference between the offense and very unbalanced last year. You know what I mean? So if they can close the gap and be in more balance on offense and defense, I think you're going to be very competitive in all of these games. And in a lot of these games, you should be able to really be looking pretty in the fourth quarter. Let's have some cushion, get away from winning on the last minute field goal crap like we were with Garrett. I hated that crap. I want to be pedal to the metal, and I want the defense to strangle everybody. Like, I want to be dominant, bro. We got to be dominant.
Yes, we got to be dominant. We got to beat 500 teams or better.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't be playing it close. We got to play it to win it, man. And last year we didn't get to see that. Dak Prescott got. I mean, we've seen it a little bit. Let's not excuse Mike McCarthy here. There were some boneheaded mistakes last year, but no excuse. This team has to stay healthy. They if this team ain't healthy, then I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're doomed.
Yeah.
And then week 7, Joe, we're gonna be sad because it's the bye week.
So week 7, we got the bye week, Mike. Do you like where the bye week falls?
I do.
Tell me why, bro.
We got a 10-game stretch after that. A 10-game stretch. We could get so where you're at. You can evaluate. Are you gonna be 3-3 at the bye week? Are you gonna be 4-2? Are you gonna be 2-4? You can evaluate that. Make those necessary adjustments. The trade deadline will be around that time. Maybe they can shop Jalen Smith. Maybe they can shop Leighton Vander Esch, things of that sort. You can probably get some Jeff equity because they're not going to get a lot of comp picks. Busy week for the Dallas Cowboys. Trade deadline. Then you got where your record's going to be at. Can you recruit and hit this 10-game stretch hard, Joe? Can you redeem yourself if you have a losing record after 6 games? You'll know exactly where this football team is in 6 weeks of football. And if we got a glorious 10 games or if we got another disaster season, Joe.
No, you hit it right on the head, bro. And what happened last year when the Cowboys were on this streak, there was people that were just not really, on reality, with reality as far as like, oh, we'll turn it around. We'll turn it around. You are what you are, now obviously you can start out bad and finish strong, but we've seen that here in Dallas and we're tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, let's be consistent. Let's stack wins. Let's stack 5 wins here, 6 games here, 8, whatever. I don't want every other game. I don't want 2 games a win, 1 game loss. I don't want none of that pattern. I want a championship pattern. You know what I mean? And I know that the Bucks were not that. They had a weird year and they ended up finishing strong and they did their thing. But for the Cowboys, it's very important for Mike McCarthy and this guy with Quinn to really turn it around in year 2. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get to the bye week and you're stumbling at the bye week, the rumblings will be there. I guarantee you, bro. Now, that's the pessimistic side. Now, the optimistic side will be, what if you're whipping everybody's ass, right? What if you're in week 7 and you're freaking, 5-2, 7-0, somewhere like that? That's what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Can you run the table to the bye week?
They could.
They could
have a damn good offseason. Oxnard better be popping out talent.
Yeah. So that's where I want to be. I want to be on the good side of winning. To be realistic, maybe you do lose a game or 2 here or there, but you definitely don't want to be 0-6 or 2-4. You don't want that because the wheels will fall off here real quick. But for me, the bye week at week 7, I kind of would want it, since it's a 17 game season. I would have liked it a little bit more in the middle, maybe in another 2 weeks, maybe week 9 or somewhere like that. But I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take week 7. I think it's I wouldn't say too early, but it's almost in the middle, so it's close there, man. It's close there. Eric Montoya, just want to see the boys flying around on D. Yeah, man, for real, dude. That's what we all want to see, right? We invested heavily in the draft, right? We went hard and heavy. First 6 picks were defense, and you really expect a lot of these guys to be in the mix, right? You expect your first, second, third rounders to be contributors right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? So that's Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, Kelvin Joseph. You expect him to be starting opposite Diggs, Osa Odigizua, menacing people, wrestling people, beating the crap out of people. That kind of thing. And Golston, I've been saying Golston is your Tyron Crawford upgrade. He's going to be that, and he'll give you some breathers there for, Lawrence probably, because he's a bit more of a run defender type of guy. So he'll probably be, Lawrence's backup. He'll give you some flex on the inside there too. So we'll see, man. But yeah, the trade deadline, will there be any trades there? That'll be interesting to see, if they do anything. It's also a point in the season where you might see a contract extension, right, Mike? So,
yeah.
Do they in fact where will LVE be by the bye week? Will he look healed? Will he look really good? The rumor was that they want a deal, right? They want to extend him. That's why they're not giving him the 5th-year option. I don't know if I buy that. I think they're really going to see how he plays this year. And then at the end of the year, they may do something. But I think the writing's on the wall. They drafted 2 linebackers, so. Yeah,
and let's not forget Leighton Vander Esch. He missed 13 games in 2 seasons here. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, it's right there with Sean Lee, if not worse, if I remember correctly. So yeah, the bye week, you might get an extension. It may be somebody else. Will it be Connor Williams? You know what I mean? I know some people don't like him at all, but the Cowboys, they seem to have a higher liking on him. Now, who I would freaking extend would be Connor McGovern, because you can get him cheap right now, and if he's gonna be the future at left guard,
oh yeah,
extend McGovern. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and get him on the cheap and get him in there. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see. The offensive line is going to be the storyline for me. I expect the defense to be a lot better this year. So for me, all eyes are on the offensive line for me, Mike.
100%. We're going on to week 8, Joe.
We
got the Minnesota Vikings. All right. I just talked about Kellen Moore against the Patriots last year. Let's talk about Kellen Moore and the Vikings last year. Remember that? They were on the goal line. Dak Prescott was scorching them in the pass, and he ran it 3 times in a row on the 8-yard line. Remember that? Kellen Moore, the liability Kellen Moore. Can he redeem himself at the Vikings?
Yeah, man. So that's the thing, man. Some of the play calling, it really did. As prolific as the offense was, at the same time, it was some of the calls were kind of had you scratching your head, bro. Like some of those play calls were kind of like, what the hell? What is going on here? You know what I mean? And then what's kind of interesting to me, and I know a lot of fans remember this, at the end of the year, you saw McCarthy with the
big
plays, with the play sheet, right? He looked a lot more involved. You know what I'm saying? So was he hoping that Kellen Moore would take the Boise State job? You know what I'm saying? Jerry Jones whispered in his ear or something, and he came back, right? That was his job for the taking.
They gave it an extension.
They offered him that job.
They gave him a 3-year extension.
Do you want the job, Kellen Moore? And then Jerry Jones, hey, brother.
How much money you want?
How much do you want, and would you be willing to possibly take over in a couple of years? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what it is, but Mike, the highlight of this game, week 8 at Minnesota, pretty good defense there, led by Zimmer. You know what I mean? This will be interesting to see where Minnesota is at in week 8. You know, there was some talk that maybe Zimmer would be out. You know, could he be fired? Would he retire? So, you know, Cousins at quarterback. I like Dalvin Cook. Can he stay healthy? So I think they're a pretty good team, you know. But where will they be by week 8? You know what I mean? Will the wheels fall off there? Are you going to have a crappy Minnesota team? And then, you know, they're talking about moving on from Zimmer. So it's interesting how all the season, you know, will start to, you know, to form, you know, what can happen at the end of the year. You know, what will they be? You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a good game for me. I think it's going to be, like you said, you know, Kellen Moore, he definitely has to have a better game plan against Minnesota. And we seem to have tough games with these guys. They always play the Cowboys tough. You know, it's always a knockout, drag-out brawl, you know, and it's on the road over there with those guys. So that's going to be a hell of a game, bro. Like, I think that's a good one. And that one there, is that one prime time? Let me see here.
Week 8.
That is a primetime game at 7:20. So that's Sunday Night Football. Okay, so Sunday Night Football, baby. That's another primetime out the gate, right after the bye week, right?
Yep.
So NFL, they love putting us out on the big lights, and
for ratings,
bro. We'll see how the Cowboys do. Guys, let us know what you guys think about the Minnesota game. How do you think we'll fare in that one there? Shout out to everybody in the chat box. You know, appreciate all you guys joining us here for the release party. Kicking ass here.
Week 9, Joe.
Week 9. Who do we have on tab there for week 9, Mike?
The Broncos. Y'all remember that game a couple of years ago, 4 years ago? Remember that? It's at home, AT&T Stadium. No lightning delay. All right? No more of that crap. No more getting embarrassed. Y'all remember that? Sean Lee got hurt in that game, and the defense just went MIA. Y'all remember that game? It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It reminded me of that week 2, 2011 Seahawks game is what that beatdown did. And ironically, that game was a week 2 game, right? So We got to get paid back for that lightning storm, that delay, and that ass whooping, Joe. We got to get these Broncos. We got the Cowboy needs to tie up the Bronco, all right?
Yeah, man. Week 9 with the Broncos, bro. Yeah, that was a crazy game back a couple seasons ago. That one just kind of set the tone for the rest of the season, it felt like. So, you get some redemption. We are at home for this one this time, thankfully. That was an interesting game. Now, for this one here, who will be the quarterback? Will it, in fact, be Drew Lock, or will it be, who did they get? They got, was it Bridgewater?
Yes.
Yeah, so will it be Bridgewater? Will it be Drew Lock? For me, I'm hoping it's Drew Lock. That guy will turn the ball over.
We see Patrick Surtain, too.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one there. We'll see about Surtain, a Cowboys target there. And will Dak Prescott go after him? Will he be able to cover our wide receivers? Will he go up against Cooper? Alabama versus Alabama, Tide versus Tide. That'll be interesting there. Or Gallup. Pick your poison, bro. Like I really like going into the season with another year 2 of Gallup, because I think they're going to find a way to utilize him some more. I think you might even see him on the outside a little bit more. Then Cowboys might want to start to get a look at him a little bit more on the outside. Knowing that you're probably not going to bring back Gallup, I don't think they're going to tag him, because that dollar bill is going to be expensive. So maybe as the season progresses, you start to see a little bit more sprinkling of CeeDee Lamb playing on the outside. Maybe you get a peek at Gallup, Simi Fehoko. Maybe you start, bringing him along here on a few snaps as well. See what do you want to get a look at him on the outside? 4.43 speed, so you can stretch the field a little bit there. So as the season progresses, we all know that the rookies that are on the team, they start to get more comfortable. They get more experience. They start, looking better, right? So by this point, Micah Parsons, Week 9, Broncos, you're going to know by now. You're going to be like, hey, dude, this guy's the real deal Holyfield. This guy's a badass impact defensive player, right?
Yep. And
Kelvin Joseph, too. Like you're gonna start to know a lot about these guys, man. And like I said, the year 2 guys are really gonna be in play here. Gallimore, and these guys there. Biadasz, I'm really curious to see how dominant he could be. A full year in the strengthening program at the NFL level, I think is gonna do him well. I think he came into the league already stout, but year 2, I think he's gonna be mauling people left and right. Now the thing about Biadasz is, he has missed some games there. It was at Wisconsin, and he did miss some time with us last year. So we need to keep an eye on that. We can't be sleeping on the backup center, but maybe that's where McGovern comes into play, Mike. But Broncos game at not Texas Stadium, at AT&T Stadium. The last time I saw these guys, I was at that game. It was the shootout. It was Romo versus Peyton Manning. That was a hell of a game. Heartbreaking ending, but that was the last time I saw them there, man. And dang, man, time goes by quick, dude. That seems like yesterday for me.
Morris Claiborne picked off Peyton Manning that game. It was his first interception. I knew Tony Romo was going to have a fantastic game against their secondary, because at that time, Joe, their secondary was ranked 32nd in the National Football League.
Absolutely. Primetime, Phil. You guys love the shows. Just getting Cowboys Corner after the draft show. Awesome, man. Starting mine soon, and you guys have been inspired. Thanks, Phil. Primetime, Phil in the house. Appreciate you, bro. Good luck to your channel as well.
Hey, let me know when you start it in one of my videos. I'll subscribe, dude, and I'll watch you, man. Thanks for watching me. I'll watch you back.
Yeah, Primetime, Phil. Just stay consistent. That's the key, bro. That is the key there. Appreciate you, Primetime, Phil. Appreciate that, bro. Ross, I like that comment there. Let's do it.
Joe,
let's do it.
Week 10, we got the watermelon kick Atlanta Falcons. Woo! Dan Quinn playing Matt Ryan. This is going to get interesting, Joe.
Week
You know,
10
Dan
versus
Quinn
the Falcons,
gets,
right?
yep, Dan Quinn gets to see his former team that
Yeah.
he be a head coach of. How much does he know Matt Ryan? Can he scheme them really well? You know, he don't go home, but the home comes to him.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this game too. You know, this is a little bit of a revenge game, right, for your defensive coordinator and for fans that really want confirmation, right? Like, could the Cowboys have traded up to go get this tight end? I was not on board for that whatsoever. I was no part of that. But you know, you will have that part of the fan base that will be, I told you we should have gotten, but no, man, seriously, dude. Like, I think it's gonna be a good game. It's a game we should get. We should get this game here, man. I'm really not intimidated by these guys. You know, Matt Ryan, I think he's still an okay quarterback, but he's on the decline. He's on the backside here, and you know, we'll see how they do there. You know, will he be able to get the ball to, Pitts? That offensive line is kind of suspect to me. It's not all that there. And Matt Ryan, bro, like, if you can get in his face, kind of like the Patriots did in the Super Bowl, like you said, Dan Quinn knows his weaknesses, right? He's gonna know the weaknesses of that team. You know how to scheme them.
Yep.
And what I really like about the Dan Quinn signing is that he said it himself. You know, he's more of a lieutenant, right? He wants to be boots on the ground with his guys. He doesn't want them have to be distracted by head coaching and this kind of crap. So you're going to get a very inspired defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he is charismatic, but at the same time, he's a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a good track record as a defensive coordinator. This isn't like Mike Nolan, where his heyday was the 90s and everything in the 2000s was garbage for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Dan Quinn has a pretty recent resume of pretty good defenses, when he's a defensive coordinator. When you look at his defensive coordinator, history, you got to be pumped about that. You got to be pumped about that. So, yeah, man, that's going to be a good game for us. I think, that's a game that we should get the win there. We are at home as well for that game there. So I love it, man. What do you guys think about that week 10 game, guys?
Super pumped.
Kelvin Joseph, who's going to be covering Pitts? Will they have enough time to get him the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Will he even have enough time to get the ball to these guys? So hopefully the defense will be rocking and rolling, Mike. Who do we have in week 11?
Week 11, Joe, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at Kansas City, Missouri.
On the road at Kansas City, right?
Yep.
At the Chiefs, bro. Like, Arrowhead Stadium is one of the craziest places to play. Everybody will say that. And we're going to get a good dose of that. That's a good litmus test. That's a very good litmus test, bro. Because you're going to get a high-octane offense. Really, both of them are high-octane. You know what I mean? If we're being real here. The Cowboys have a high-octane offense. You get these guys, the Chiefs, Mahomes, these kinds of guys. So, it's going to be – that game's going to be crazy good, bro. Like, that is surprisingly, that is not a primetime game. Are you surprised by that, Mike?
No, but it may be America's Game of the Week game, or Tony Romo could be there. It's going to be Troy Aikman commentating, or it's going to be Tony Romo commentating. One of the former Cowboy quarterbacks is going to be commentating. It's going to be a watched game for sure, even if it being a midday game.
Yeah, it should be Romo game because you're right. This should be like the marquee game for the afternoon games. It should. I mean, it has to be. What other game could? I mean, Chiefs versus Cowboys. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, you can't get that. Should be a primetime game.
It should be. You should be, but I'll be there. It'll be primetime for me. I'm going to be there. I'll be wearing my CD Lamb jersey. I'm going to have my war paint on. and I'm gonna tomahawk some Chiefs. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a battle. You know, Mahomes, he's really good at dissecting the defense. So, how will Dan Quinn scheme this? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about. You know, you're hearing that it's going to be a mixed bag. You know, a little bit of a hybrid thing again. I'm hoping that it's. You know, I'm hoping that I feel like we have better personnel to run this 3-4 type of thing. Like, you know, last year we didn't. You know, but now you have better players in the mix. You know, you have Bohanna if he can make the team, which I think he has a good shot. You know, they got rid of Antoine Woods, who I don't think would have been a good fit there in that type of deal. I think they're continuing to purge this squad. You know what I mean? They want their guys, man. At the end of the day, you know, I know a lot of fans have their pet cats, but some of these pet cats are from the previous regime. There's no guarantees for any of these guys. Like the Francis Bernard pet cat from last year, that's going to be an uphill battle, bro. I mean, he's really going to have to make the team on special teams, and you know, hopefully he can beat somebody out. But you know, Reggie Robinson, there's no guarantee on that there. Yeah, and even a fifth round pick, Bradley Anai. You know, these are not, you know, Quinn's guys, but he is kind of McCarthy's guy. You know, McCarthy was part of this process too, so we can't sleep on that either. You know what I'm saying? So I know some people want to push some of these guys off of a bridge because we drafted so many defenders, but at the same time, everybody still has to earn the star, Mike.
Earn the respect, earn the star, earn that playtime, Joe.
Yeah, you got to earn that star, man. I don't think you can't anoint anybody. You know, I've said it before. We can't anoint the rookies, and we can't anoint the undrafted guys, man. Like, oh, you're sleeping on so and so. Well, 32 teams slept on these undrafted guys too. You know what I mean? So, but man, that's gonna be a good game, bro. I think it's a good litmus test. It's an afternoon game. It is in hostile environment. Defenses usually travel better, right? If you're gonna make a run here as we're here at week 11, you're gonna know, because if you have a good defenses travel well, right? The offense, they have to go through, you know, the crowd and all this other crap. You know, communication on the offensive line. You know, Zach Martin has mentioned that as communication when they're there with Seattle. These big crowds, they do affect the communication of the offensive line. So that can be affected. But if you have a really good defense, it'll travel well. And I think this will be a good test for the defense. You know what I mean? If your defense can keep you in the game, which I think it's going to have to come down to it, who's going to have a better defense, Chiefs or Cowboys? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, Joe. It's going to be interesting, Joe. We're going to get stuffed. We're going to eat a whole lot of Raiders week 12, Joe, and some turkey and some stuffing and some mashed taters and some green beans. And hopefully, you know, we can spend that with our fams because we didn't get to do it last year. At least I didn't. But we got the Raiders here, Joe.
Week 12, Thanksgiving game versus the Raiders. Mike, I think this is going to be a good game, man, because the pressure is going to be on the Raiders. You know, they had a goofy kind of draft. I didn't like their draft class. I think Mayock might start to feel the pressure here. You know, they cut some pretty recent picks from a draft or two ago. They cut a bunch of guys. They let go of a lot of offensive linemen. Questionable reaches on some of their draft picks. So, you know, I'm interested to see if the wheels are going to fall off here with the Raiders, or are they going to be better? You know what I mean? Like, I think the Raiders are a bit of an interesting team to me, Mike. And what's your take here? What do you think the Raiders are going to be here at week 12?
It's hard to say, but our defense got to be ready. You know, Derek Carr, when he's on, he's on. Let's say that. But when he's off, I mean, he's off. And hopefully we got our act together here by week 12, by Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving was ruined last year and the year before. I think they lost 2 Thanksgiving games in a row already. The Buffalo Bills 2 years ago, and we lost last year to the Washington football team. So it's time for us to get back on a winning streak with these Raiders here, Joe. And our defense need to be on point. We can't we can't let these wide receivers get moving. Dak has to be smart. Last time we played the Raiders, Jeff Heath saved the game. And hit Derek Carr out, and there was a touchback controversy call, and there was the envelope with the piece of paper for a first down. I mean,
the index card. I love that game.
There was a lot going on last time we played these Raiders, so this defense gonna have to step up.
Yeah, it is, and that referee, he's retired, so he won't be at that game. He calls games now, right? So he won't be there, unfortunately. But man, that was a hell of a game. And talking about Zeke in the comments, what will Zeke be in this season? Some people, along with Jalen Smith, we're talking about Zeke. Is this a guy that you want to move on from? You know what I mean? So it looks really good in the offseason. You'd like to see, some of the things that you're seeing. But again, you can't fall in love with the hype videos, running in the sand, drills, this kind of shit. So it's got to come down to when the bullets start flying, preseason, right? I think preseason, you got to get these guys preseason snaps, man. Especially the guys that you didn't see last year. Tyron, you're going to have to get your butt out there, bro. I want to see you take some snaps in the preseason. Everybody, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody should get any kind of preferential treatment this year in the preseason. We saw what happened. You saw what happened, man. There was no preseason, so it affected a lot of teams, and it really affected the Cowboys' ability to install their defense, and the offense looked out of sync. It was just not good. So. I'm not expecting these guys to play all their preseason games, but give me a good game. Give me a good half of football like they used to do, just a few years ago. Give me a full half. Give me a half of football. I just want to see you guys clicking, man. Give us a look that you guys are getting down to it, like I say, and you got to redeem yourself here. Last Thanksgiving was not good, bro.
Last two Thanksgiving weren't good.
The last two not good. And you got to redeem yourself. You got to protect the house. You can't lose at home, man. Raiders, slap these guys around. They're gonna come in here. I want to see the Cowboys slap these guys around, bro. Yeah, I really do.
You made a great point on videos, Joe. I remember Des Bryant before he signed with the Ravens last year. He was doing all those workout videos and cutting and spinning and looking like he got off the line real fast. And one of a big Des Bryant fan, which is my wife's cousin, he sent me the videos like, look, I told you Des Bryant's gonna be good. He'd come back. I said, bro, the video. Put somebody back. Put somebody in front of him. See what he does. Put some pads on. Put somebody in front of him. Let's see what he does. He didn't do nothing for the Ravens. Des Bryant's washed. He's trash. Let's move on. But anyway, the whole point was video. You can't just rely on a little highlight reel.
Yeah, that's fact, bro. And it is fun to watch this stuff. You definitely like to see that. You definitely don't want to not see it, because then it has you wondering, like, what is this guy doing anything, right? So it has its pros and cons, but as fans, you do have to temper expectations with that sort of stuff. Because
I like playing the Saints, dude. I do like playing the Saints because
week 13, baby.
They'll kick our butt the next year. We knock the snot out of them. They'll kick our butt the next year. We'll knock the snot out of them, Joe. It's always a good game when you're playing the Saints, man. Drew Brees isn't there no more. He's retired. And they got Jameis Winston over there. They got Hill. They got who else they got over? They drafted a quarterback, Ian Book. All right, so it's gonna be interesting. The Saints defense is good, but where's their offense headed without Drew Brees, Joe?
Yeah, man, that's gonna be the storyline there, right? Like Jameis Winston, he's no good. That guy is not good, bro. And then Taysom Hill, he's a gimmick quarterback. He's good to keep the offense off balance because you use him on a couple of plays, but to use Taysom Hill for a full season, it ain't gonna work, bro. And then Yeah, Ian Book, a rookie, which that's my team there, the Notre Dame. But he's a rookie, right? So we'll see where they're at. I think there's going to be a bit of a process there for the Saints this year. I think they're going to have to. That's a little bit of a rebuild in progress there. But the games are always close. We talked about Minnesota always playing us tough. The Saints are like that. They could both be having a crappy year, and the game ends up being close. One team could be kicking ass, and the other team could be bad, and the game will be close. Like it'll be like that. So this is a game that always comes down to. It always seems like it comes down to a final possession. So but there is no Drew Brees. I think that's going to be the real story here. No Drew Brees. How will this team look? Will they have a really crappy record, and could this be a trap game? You know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the Saints are at there. Do they trade for a quarterback by the trade deadline? Do they get desperate? Something like that. So when you're here at the end of the year, you already know like who's kind of making that little push for the playoffs. So these games here at the end of the final quarter of the season, they're big time, and we're talking about like that Chiefs game. That's going to be big time. Thanksgiving, and you come back after that, and you got that short turnaround, right? So you got the Chiefs. Take a closer look at this. We always have that short turnaround. So you got the Chiefs on the
3 games in 10 days, ain't it?
And then 4 days later, you got the Raiders on Thanksgiving. And then you're back over here, with the Saints. So it's always this little 3-game stretch for the Cowboys that it is part of it, and now every team complains about not playing on Thanksgiving, but this is kind of what you have to deal with, 3 games in like 10 days or whatever the heck it is.
Yep.
It's always a quick turnaround. So, and then, bro, you get into it. You do get a little bit of a rest there, so you do get that, and you open up. You get back to work on the road against
the football team,
bro.
Yeah, it's going to be at FedEx Field. We got 3 road. There's more to that besides that 3-game stretch, Joe. So we're at Chiefs. We're at home for Thanksgiving. Then we got 3 away games on top of that short 10-day period, or it'll be 11-day period. We got 3 games in that right after that with the Saints to Washington football. Then we go to the Giants and then back home for 3 games in a row. But focus on this Washington football team. It's going to be over there. Let's be honest. They freaking embarrassed us. They swept us.
Yeah.
I think Dak's 7-1 against the Washington football team. But right now their defense is stout, dude. I mean, let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. It's going to be a good game. You're getting on later in the year. This could be for the division. Giants could be in the mix depending on how Daniel Jones plays. He could be in the mix. There's going to be a 3-game stretch here of that division, and it's going to be a hard-fought game right there. It seriously is going to be a hard-fought game, Joe.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Like those road games. Yeah, it is, bro. It is a tough schedule, man. And somebody mentioned that the end of the schedule was tough. I mean, I think the whole schedule, has its landmines. It's all about war of attrition, bro. It always comes down to war of attrition. How does your roster hold up? Have the Cowboys done enough at the important positions for depth, to get you through a small stretch of games, right? So we know Tyron will miss some games with the back and neck and all the bull crap. Lyle, I think it's a huge year for Lyle, because if he doesn't perform well, the Cowboys have the ejection button. They can get out of that, and he doesn't want that, I don't think, right? So it's going to come down to it. Like, did they protect themselves? Are we going to be seeing Brandon Knight by this week? Are we going to be seeing Josh Ball somewhere playing spot duty? Like who wins that backup depth chart, right? And that'll be what we find out in training camp in the preseason. Is Josh Ball better than Terrence Steele? Is he better than Brandon Knight? Do they see Brandon Knight more as a guard? You know what I'm saying? So where in this whole schedule will we see those handful of games from Tyron Smith missing? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's going to be early in the year because he had neck surgery there. He has back issues. He hasn't played football at this point. Will be a year when the season starts. I think he's going to have some back issues. He still has to get that back strength moving, but I think it's going to be at the first of the year. I think we'll have him here at the end of the stretch.
Yeah. So that's just something to keep in the back of everybody's head, as we continue to talk to the rest of the schedule. But it is a good point to bring up, obviously. And Washington, bro, their front, for me, the Washington front right now, based on last season, I think they have one of the better fronts in the league. They drafted to stop the Cowboys' running game, but we've kind of transitioned away from the running game and being more aerial, right? It is what it is, and whenever Zeke's contract finishes or whatever they end up doing with Zeke, I don't think that they're going to invest high picks in running back anymore. I think the way the Cowboys are built with Stephen Jones, I think that's the last time they're going to spend their early pick on a running back. You know what I'm saying? And even in McCarthy's tenure with the Packers, they never drafted a running back really high that I can remember. You know what I mean? So it'll more aerial attack, more, push the ball down the field. They can do that. They have the weaponry, the artillery to do it. It's all about that. How do you combat that Washington front? You got the Mauler over there, the rookie who had a fantastic rookie campaign, at defensive end. Chase, right?
Yeah.
So, everybody wanted to draft Slater because, he stoned them, when they played each other, but that's not the case. And Tyron Smith doesn't handle speed rushers good.
No.
We know that. And so where will we be sitting there? Is this going to be a game where you have to go max protection? Do you have Blake? You probably have Schultz out there. He's a better blocker. Does Sprinkle make the team? He's a better blocker too. So, he's a former Redskin as well. So there's some good storylines there. I think they had an interesting draft. Jamin Davis there. I like that. He's a good linebacker. Athletic. He tested off the charts, and I like what they did. They did add some people there on the offensive line, so they know they got to fortify that. Now, is it going to be Fitzmagic? Are you going to get the stretch where Fitzmagic is playing crappy, or is it going to be Heineke, or somebody else there? So, what is it going to be there for Washington here at the end of the season? Is it Fitzmagic? What's your gut feeling on what they're going to be doing at quarterback, Mike?
It's going to be Fitzmagic because they don't know how to. Well, they know how to run defense, but can they run offense, Joe? I like what the Washington football team's doing with their offensive line. They got Bill Callahan in there who built our offensive line. They kind of built their offensive line over there. They're pulling guys in from the street, this, that, and the third, and they were still able to have their Pell hold block. All right. So we know their trenches is really good.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who their quarterback is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, guys. Let us know what you guys think about Washington. Do you think they're – okay, guys, do you think Washington – is it going to be between the Cowboys and Washington for the crown there? Are they the biggest threat to the Cowboys?
Absolutely.
Let us know what you guys think. Is Washington the team to beat? They are the defending division champions, so, you got to go with that, right? You got – Rivera – He put some pretty good damn teams together, man. So I think that these guys are going to be, the team to beat. I think it's going to be the winner. It could come down to these games here. Like, you got to sweep the Washington team here. You got to sweep them this year because we're here. We play some really. you face them at the end of the year, and they're really close. The games are like every other or something like that, right? So week 15, Mike, who are we facing there?
The Giants. We kind of talked about them and Daniel Jones, and they're they drafted a wide receiver, and they got a good secondary. They got a good defensive line. But we got the Giants again at MetLife.
Yeah, so week 15 at New York Giants on the road. This is where, it is the meat of the schedule, right at the end. It always happens, it seems like. And the NFL, they do it. They know that these NFC East battles kind of usually dictate the division champion, right? It always seems to come down to a lot riding on the line, and it's always Washington, Philly, Giant. Probably, like I said, I'll be surprised if the Eagles are in the mix. I think it's going to be more of Washington football. Giants will be better. But the NFL, just looking at the schedule, just by looking at our schedule, this is how the NFL has planned it. You know what I mean? It's NFC East, throw down, brawl out, bro. So,
what's so funny? In the mid '90s, the Eagles the Cardinals were part of our division too. So, you know what I'm saying? Before they expanded, Cardinals were in our division. So that's kind of crazy how they all got even the old division rival in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, man. So that's week 15. We hit up on the Giants already. So we'll see where they're at there. But on the road, let's beat up on Jason Garrett's offense with our newly minted defense and all of our new little weapons there for Quinn. Let's get on it. Let's get on that ass. Week 16, Mike.
Yes, week 16. We got the Washington football team again.
Yeah, every other game. So you get a kind of a quick turnaround on these NFC East rivals, especially Washington. So week 16 versus Washington. Wow, bro. Like that's it's gonna be interesting. Revenge. Somebody might get swept. Maybe you split it. You know what? What's your gut take, guys? And Mike, what's your gut take? Are we sweeping? Is it gonna be a split?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Their record don't reflect it. They had some quarterback controversy and COVID and stuff like that. But I think both the Cowboys and the football team is better than 7-9 and whatever we were. What were we, 6-10 or something like that? I think we're better than that, and it's going to be a dogfight. I'm going to say we split, and I'm being completely honest. But it's going to be a dogfight. It could go either or.
Yeah. No, I think it might be, bro. I definitely don't see us getting swept. That's for sure. If we do, something really bad has happened, like losing your tackles. We just have a lot riding on the line with that O-line, bro. Like yes. Like I said, I think it's going to come down to it. Did we do enough at the depth position there? So you got to keep your Ferrari clean, man. You got to keep Dak Prescott off the ground, and protect them. I don't necessarily. I like him using his legs, but he's got to be careful now with that. He's a what is he getting paid now? $150 million man or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's getting money. We can't have the Capitol Police protecting the Capitol building. All right, we gotta have soldiers protecting the Pentagon. All right.
Yeah. So really, and I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. This definitely won't be I mean, I would love a sweep. Don't get me wrong, but these NFC East games are always close. It's kind of like we talked about. The Saints and these guys. These games are always close, man. So it's going to be the war of attrition again. We'll see where we're at. And not only for the offensive line, but how do you feel with the depth on your defense? Do you feel like DeMarcus Lawrence? What's behind DeMarcus Lawrence really?
Terrell Basham. I like Terrell Basham.
What's behind Randy Gregory? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like just projecting very, very far ahead, I feel like defensive end is going to end up being a draft pick next year. I think they're going to go early on D end next year. But yeah, man, week 16 Washington, guys. What do you guys think? We see a couple of splits in the chat box. Yeah, schedule makers. They got it going, baby. They got it going on. They know what they're doing. It's a big billion-dollar industry for these guys, and they definitely want to capitalize on losing all this revenue from COVID. So these guys, they probably spent they did analytics, they did all kinds of crap on viewership, who brings in the more viewers, ad revenue, all of this crap. So I'm not surprised by the way that the end of the schedule has shaped up, Mike. Right?
Yeah, not at all.
Week 17, Mike.
Because you can flex some things down there too, and make a lot of those games prime time. We got the Cardinals. We got the Cardinals, Joe, at home. After a 3-game-in-a-row home stretch, we finally got a home game, and it's our last one. Oh no, we went on a three home stretch right there. So that's our last home game for our last week of the season, Joe, against these Cardinals. They embarrassed us last time we played them too. They sure the hell did.
Yeah, bro. What do you guys think about facing the Cardinals? Mike, what I like about the Cardinals is the ability to frustrate Kyle Murray, bro.
I don't think we frustrated him last time we played him. I think he was throwing all over us, dude.
Not us, but when you look at what the NFC West does, they do a really good job of getting in his face, flushing him out the pocket, making him throw, off target, and he does. He shows the frustration on his face. He does. So you can get in the head of Kyle Murray. So what I'm saying is, if you can get the pressure, Micah Parsons, let's use a little bit of that rush that you have in your game there. Let's use a little bit of that. Let's come at him at different angles. Let's do a blitz off the corner. Let's throw everything at this guy, because I'm telling you, frustrate Murray, and you're in business.
He does have a piss poor attitude when he gets frustrated, though. He's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does. But if you do let him, hang around there and do his thing, he can look like Russell Wilson. So you gotta be on him. Do you have a spy for him in place? You do. It could be Micah.
Yeah.
I would prefer it to be Micah. I don't want Jalen. I don't want LVE. Who can spy him?
Micah Parsons.
Or do you go in nickel? Maybe it's Keanu Neal. Maybe it's got to be Neal or Parsons. How I think the other guys are. I don't think they can do it. Now, who's the better tackler? It might be LVE, right? He's pretty good at tackling. His technique is good, but that's gonna be a good game, man. D-Hop tore us up, right? So Hopkins, Diggs, Kelvin Joseph. How do they go against these guys there? I think that's going to be a good matchup. That'll be interesting. Now, they did lose their cornerback. Peterson's gone. So, go attack that. Go heavy on that, on their defense. I think that's Cardinal defense. It's not very impressive to me. But man, it could come down to it, man, because that NFC West is a very tough division. It's very close. Here in week 17, it could be for win and you're in, win and you're done. You can't take a loss here at the end of the year. You got to finish strong, Mike. So Cardinals at home in AT&T Stadium, we got to get that win.
Yeah, for sure. Win, then we finish the season with the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth, Mr. Cupcake himself, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, week 18 on the road at Philly, bro. So to end it, week 18 on the road, guys. Are we in good shape here at this point? Is this a game where you're able to rest players? Or is this a game with everything on the freaking line? It seems like every year it's gonna come down to the final game. Are you watching the scoreboard? Like this team, I don't want to be the team that has to rely on somebody else to lose or win for us to get it. I want to win on our laurels, on what we do. I hate that crap, bro, where you have to rely on somebody else. That's not championship football. All right?
Oh, that's Garrett football.
That is Garrett football. So we hopefully we're turning the page there, and I feel like we are. Like Mike, we talked about this during the draft. This is a statement. We're turning the page on that old defense, and we're bringing it back into a more dog mentality defense. So hopefully we're just like strong, man. Where I have confidence. Like, yeah, man, we will win this game. I don't want it to be like I'm saying it but not believing it. Under Garrett, you would say it, but in the heart of hearts, you would be like, I don't know, though. We might lose this game. I don't want to be in that mind frame, bro. You know what I'm saying? And every fan knows what I'm talking about. Every fan is that. You know, every fan is gonna believe you're gonna win it. But when you dig deep and you know your team like we do, you know. So I don't want to be that. I want us to go into the game and be like, we're gonna jack these guys up, man. We are going to win this freaking game. You know?
Yeah, for sure, dude. And you know, I'm not all about resting starters. You know, I'm
Yeah,
not.
that too, right? That's another.
Football is becoming the NBA, dude. It's getting too soft. You know, they made all these teams not do voluntary workout, which I get it. It's voluntary, but their excuse to keep it, you know, keep their players healthy. Then they come out and say it really wasn't about the health of the players. It's more about this thing's getting ridiculous. You know, Tom Brady made a big press. It's getting lazy. It's getting divified. Hopefully Cowboys can stay dogged up. You know, they're doing their OTAs. They're in their phases. We get to see the rookies here in the next couple of days. Get to see them at the Star. So hopefully, Joe, you know, they don't get divified and sit out. You know, they play at least a half a series or whatever, get ready for the playoffs because only one team now gets a bye week, Joe. So see how that stuff plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game there. A lot of good matchups, but yeah, hopefully we have it wrapped up here. But like you said, I don't like that resting either, man. You know, like you got to go in there and have some sort of momentum. Now, if you want to play a half, you know that's fine too. But I really am not, you know, for resting players. You know, so hopefully we're at the point of the season where we're fighting for some sort of, you know, not home field advantage, but well, yeah, maybe shit. But only one team earns home field advantage now, right? So everybody else will be playing. What you want to do is you want to come out of this with hosting a home game. So win your division, you host some games, right? And hopefully, you know, as the divisional round goes, maybe somebody loses and you're hosting another game or championship game. So yeah, man. So it's going to be one of those deals. Marvel and Group, Devontae Smith versus Kelvin Joseph, middleweight fight. It'll be good, man. It'll be good. You know, who will cover Devontae Smith? Do they see him more as a slot guy, though? I wonder where they're going to put him. You know, Devontae Smith's pretty versatile, so he could be on the outside. You know, now he did match up with Kelvin Joseph, right? So we'll see, man. That's going to be a good game there. I love it, bro. This is really a really good schedule as far as like having a lot of intrigue, Mike. You know, and you know where the Cowboys go from here. It's all about the health of the team, man. We saw these guys get devastated last year, and they couldn't overcome it. They didn't have the depth, you know, and but you had big injuries at your biggest positions. Quarterback. Yeah. You lose your quarterback, you're done. You know what I mean? Like it's rare that you can pull it out without your starter there. Your two starting tackles were gone. That's so much pressure, and that's why it's so important that we have that fixed, bro. Like,
yeah, but my whole thing is you can have all that healthy, Joe, and there's somebody by the name of Kellen Moore that can turn around and mess it up. We need Kellen Moore to start calling some game plans. You know what I mean? Put something together. Be methodical. Drive down the field. You know, I get it. Take a shot down the field. I get it. You know, run a screen. You know, don't run jet sweeps. They don't work. You know what I'm saying? But stay methodical, not predictable.
Yeah. Mark Joseph gonna choke out Devontae. I got you, sucker. Yeah, man. after the game so he doesn't get fined, right? Shoot, man. You know,
he'll get suspended.
You know Goodell's all over our guys, man. You know Goodell's is just waiting, bro. He's like, these guys drafted some guys with some issues. I'm gonna be watching Joseph. I'm gonna be watching Josh Ball and all these guys. So, man, it's I can't wait, bro. Like, we're gonna get rookie mini camp here in the 14th, 15th. So, you know, we'll follow up next week on the Frisco report on Tuesday, and we'll see how that shaped up. You know, we'll talk about that rookie mini camp, baby. We'll see how that rolled out there, and we'll get a look at these guys with you know, the silver helmets looking to earn that star, man. So, Mike, awesome release party. Shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. If you stayed all the way through, pound that like button, guys. You guys rocked it out with us at the draft show. We do appreciate that. We appreciate all the regulars in the chat box. Yeah, everybody, man. We see all you guys, and we appreciate you guys. Mike, have any closing thoughts before we end the show?
No. Last year, I went on a crazy. I think Joe did 15-1. I did 16-0. No predictions this year. Y'all can kiss that goodbye. I'm never doing a prediction again.
Yeah, me either, bro.
Win as many as you can. That's my prediction.
Yeah, win to get in, bro. Win to get in, but not win by barely getting. Like I said, I want to win decisively, bro. Like, I want to be that team where it's like, damn, I don't want to face these guys. Damn, that defense, bro. I don't want to face that Dallas defense. Like, I want us to be that. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but the team I don't want to beat, Joe, and 1,000% your point. But the team I don't want to be is you go into Chicago and Mitch Trubisky's freaking Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? You go to the Jets and everybody's healthy. Everything's clicking, right? You go to the Jets and Sam Darnold's Tom Brady. You know, you go to Green Bay and that freaking quarterback that backing up Aaron Rodgers is doing splendid. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that team anymore. I want to be dominant. I want to say, you know what? I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and, you know, not wearing bags over my head, not being mediocre. Go be winners.
Bro, it is, man. It is. So this is the season to get it done, bro. 2021. Let's turn this crap around. Let's right the ship, and let's win, man. Let's get in, dude. I don't want to be talking about draft in December. You know, I want it to be in February. You know what I mean? So hopefully this will be the year, man. So that's all we have, guys. Appreciate everybody that joined us live tonight. Mike, where can everybody find you if they haven't already?
Yeah, Joe has my Twitter handle right here, _Cowboys Corner. Guys, don't forget the underscore right there on Twitter. Cowboys Corner right here on Facebook. Guys, be careful because there are fake ones out there, but this is the great one. So make sure you subscribe.
Yes, indeed, guys. Yes, indeed, guys. Make sure you pound that like button. Hit that bell notification so you know when we go live again. And don't miss the next show, bro, because we come with it. No sugar coating here with Mike and I. You know, we give it to you on the real. But that's all we have, guys. We will see you Tuesday next week for the next Frisco report. Peace out, everybody. Peace.